everybody.
Hello.
How are you? Well,
so we are here to recap. It's about, 3 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks after we got off the Epic in Barcelona. Had a little bit of some adventures coming home. We brought,
and beyond.
Yeah, we brought an unwanted visitor with us.
But the good part is we are actually on location in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We actually wanted to kind of add to this. We love to run down here. My mom actually lives here year-round. She retired down here. We are in Kitty Hawk,
North Carolina right now.
North Carolina, home of the first flight, Wilbur and Orville Wright. But we did kind of want to go over our experience, kind of give you final thoughts and kind of tell you what's happened from there and give you some of our favorites actually here in the Outer Banks, because my mom's been local for almost 20 years now, so we feel like we've maybe found a few things that people may not know about that we actually really, really like, and tell you a little bit about some upcoming races and upcoming cruise that's going to happen.
Sure.
Not till spring break of next year, but no, just kind of keep you informed.
Yeah. So let's start with the end of the cruise. So we went home on Air France. Luckily everything was, it was a little bit delayed. The line at the airport was very long, but it could have been worse considering some of the other horror stories we've heard about flight cancellations. When we got back to Dulles, outside of our house, my lovely wife's bag did not make it the journey, but luckily she was able to get that. I think it was the next evening.
It was probably roughly 26 or 27 hours later. They delivered it to our house, which was actually kind of cool. And I will say this, we've talked to a lot of people, and somebody that I talked to recently, they went to Morocco, and that was in late May, and they still haven't gotten their bags from their trip to Morocco.
Not thinking they're getting their bags anytime
No,
soon.
at this juncture, no. So we actually, as in the grand scheme of things, Air France did a very good job. We got off the plane at Dulles, and we watched everything go around the turnstile. He got his bag, everybody's getting theirs, and mine just never showed up. And no sooner I say, oh my gosh, my bag isn't here, I had somebody from Air France right there like, hi miss, what can I do? What's going on? What can I help you with? And they made the report right away for me right there and said, okay, and they looked at, keep the stub, by the way, when they give it to you. I have a few tips, and I'm going to tell you, I have to give full credit to somebody with all this stuff before after I get done with this, but looked at my stub. Even if I didn't have my stub, he found it by my name as well. But he goes, oh yeah, your bag is in Paris. Okay.
So I guess right now with staffing shortages, any international flight, especially with a layover, we had a layover in Paris, I guess. It just takes them longer, and our flight getting there was a little bit late and leaving slightly late. It just probably wasn't enough time for them to get all the bags, and I think they're having about 1,000 bags delayed, I think, per airline. So if you can carry on right now, definitely it's best to carry on whatever you can, and certainly carry on whatever is important to you.
Yeah.
And like for a 7-day cruise, obviously it wasn't possible for us to do that. So.
No. So big takeaways from this: baggage. You're going to travel. You're probably going to want to check something. By the way, it arrived at our door, so it was fine. And everything was there. There was nothing wrong with the bags. Everything was there. So Air France, they did the best that they could with the scenario. So I just have to say, Don's Family Vacations is another YouTube channel that we watch, and he was mentioning this too. So I got to give him props, because he was saying, like, keep the stub from your bag and all of this. Here's the one other thing. Pack smart. You don't want to put the things that are going to be essential to you in any way, shape, or form. If you are bringing your favorite dress, or a favorite pair of shoes that you just can't live without, something that you can't live without permanently,
Yeah, make
I
sure
would
you
not
bring
put
that,
it.
Bring that on your carry-on. Another thing to note is they'll try to get you to settle for like $50 or $100 a bag and just offer that right away. But don't
This is
take
for
that.
insurance. You can claim it. So Air France was really good. Not to interrupt, sorry. But Air France was really, really good. They came right to me and I made the claim in the airport. If your bag's not there, do not leave the airport without making a claim.
And don't take that initial offer. I think you have up to, I think it's about 1,000 to 100 per bag that they're supposed to be
Oh, it's
obligated.
2,000. 2,000
Maybe it
a
was
bag.
that, but don't take that
Yeah.
$100 or $50 that they're going to give you initially. It might be a little bit larger of a pain, but if they do completely lose your bag, you want to make sure you can get that full value for it.
Correct.
And then there are a lot of bags just being lost right now.
Correct. And to piggyback, like I said, these airlines, if they completely lose your bag, like the person who went to Morocco that I know that never got their stuff back, they are going to come out and be like, well, we'll give you $100 or $200 for it. Don't take that first offer. Just say, no, I'm sorry. This is the value of everything that is in that bag. And some of it may be priceless, depending if you're packing smart. So just know that, and be smart about things. Make sure, carry the maximum amount onto a plane that you can. I think my recommended amount is going to be 3 days worth of stuff. And like when we were going on a cruise, I wanted a bathing suit. I made sure I had a bathing suit on there.
Yeah, and we did run into lots of people on the cruise. I think we mentioned this on
That
the previous,
never got
who
there.
or got it on the last day, and they were all wearing these NCL T-shirts the whole time. It's a big problem. I mean, I think last year when we went on a cruise, it didn't seem to be an issue just because the volume of people traveling was down. But I think at least for the next 6 months, it's going to be a major issue. As well as bags being late. If you are traveling to Europe on a cruise or anywhere more than a couple hours away, you definitely got to get there at least 1 day early.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're risking. The cruise line doesn't care if your flight gets canceled. They're still going to charge you. So you need to get there early just in case that flight gets canceled.
Yeah, buffer zones, people. Buffer zones.
If it's in the United States, it's probably okay unless you're going from coast to coast. And then if you're going from East Coast to West Coast, and you don't have the option to maybe get in your car, then you probably want to get there a day early as well, or opposite, West Coast to East Coast.
I mean, I really enjoyed getting there a day early in Barcelona, just as a
we
wrap
wanted
up.
to do that anyway, but
Yeah.
you absolutely need to do it, even if you think you want to try to just squeeze it in for some reason. Make sure you get there at least 1 day early, maybe even 2 days early. So.
Because you don't want to be running all over the place.
Or running to the cruise.
To the cruise.
Literally.
Look at that.
There you go.
Insert bad dad joke here. It's fine. Moving on, in other news, our unwanted visitor. Yes. So, I started on the way home. Something felt weird. I didn't feel 100%. It wasn't terrible where I was like, oh, I don't know, I need a doctor right now. It wasn't that. I just started feeling off. And I thought this was just a lot of time change and travel stuff. And so, by the time we made it home, we were exhausted. And we made it up to try to get back onto our normal time zone, Eastern Standard Time, and just went to bed. So woke up the next morning feeling kind of the same way, maybe very slightly worse. And I was like, well, we have all these COVID tests lying around. I'm going to take one. Guess who was positive for COVID? Your girl. I avoided this plague for over 2.5 years, but it took going to Europe to get it.
The second time. Once last year.
Oh yeah, I didn't get it last year when we were in Greece. Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, this variant right now, BA5, I mean, you haven't had that Omicron before and you're traveling, there's a good chance you'll get it. Thankfully, they did change the rules a couple weeks before we left, as we mentioned in our other videos, so we did not have to test when we came home, because there's a good chance, not a certain chance, but a good chance that Emily would have tested positive and been stuck in Barcelona for 5 to 10
When
days.
I wasn't feeling that bad, to be honest with you, but yes,
course,
I would have been stuck and we would have been out thousands.
Yes,
but
it would have been a stressful and situation that we definitely were glad we could avoid. But then, of course, it did go through our house. I got it like a day later, and our older son got it another day after
I don't
that.
think I gave it to him, though.
It could have been from anywhere. You can get it from anywhere right now. this is like,
That's why, yeah. So moving forward, I tested on Monday morning, very early, and was walking around just cleaning up the house a little bit because we had our two 20-year-olds, our sons, at the house, just cleaning up a little bit, and I tested and just let the test sit there. I was going about my business. I turn over, I'm like, uh-oh, it's positive. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going into isolation now. So I kind of like went, hey, I'm COVID positive. And he's like, wait, what? And I was like, well, you know, up in the room. And I am that person that is hypersensitive about other stuff. So I quarantined in my room right away, set the whole room up. I Netflixed it. If you need Netflix show recommendations, I watched a lot of it. So you could ask. And I called my doctor.
She watched all of it. It's
all of it. All of it.
Yeah.
There's no more Netflix.
There's no more Netflix
that I need to watch.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
Yeah.
But I called the doctor to be a good human being. I really wasn't feeling more than like a mid-range sinus infection with some tiredness that went with it. A little bit of stomach stuff with it, but I called the doctor. We televisited, and she said 5 days, you know, you're going to be in your room. She said Friday you can come out of the room and you can start going out and about with masks on. And then after 10 days, you're good to go. I think I waited an extra day or two just because I knew how transmissible it was, since our kid really didn't come anywhere near me and he had got it. You had it. So I am asthmatic. And so she recommended, I'm going to say recommended because she is the doctor in this case, and I love her. She said, let us try Paxlovid with you to make sure that your breathing isn't affected. At that point, no breathing issues whatsoever. Headache, sinusy stuff, little stomach stuff, but nothing major, and tired. So I tried the Paxlovid, which is the antiviral, if you're not familiar with it. Apparently there's countless amounts of research. I just kind of went with my doctor and didn't look it up. But I started taking the Paxlovid, and within 24 hours, I felt like a new woman. I went running. I ran a 3.5 mile run. I think I did 4.1, and then I did like another 6 mile walk, and I was doing good. That's 5-day cycle with the antiviral. I waited till day 7 after I took the antivirals, and I tested myself, and I was negative. Woo! So I was like, yes, this worked. He was negative at the time too. It went through him pretty quickly.
Yeah, I didn't take any medicine, but yeah, I had the sniffles for a couple days, and that was about it.
That was kind of what our son had. Our son was a little bit more irritable and tired with it.
I think he just is that way, though. Anytime he gets sick,
we love you, Grish.
Yeah.
We love you, but he doesn't like being sick at all.
He doesn't like being off
him.
his game, so it might be a little
more
than it actually was.
Yeah, he's in the middle of an epic swim season coaching, so he didn't want to be away from his swimmers and stuff. But started feeling bad 7 days to the day after I finished the antiviral, and lo and behold, tested positive again. And I really hadn't been out of the house doing too much stuff. So Paxlovid does have a rebound effect. I should have never taken it to start. But thankfully...
Yeah, she's not the right use case. So
I'm not.
It's really for older people.
It saves lives, yeah.
Several
but
comorbidity factors. That's the people who should be taking it. It should not for a very healthy 47-year-old.
Well, thank you. I feel healthy. I started feeling better almost immediately. I saw the doctor. I tested positive for the second time on Saturday. I had originally scheduled an appointment with her for Monday. She's like, come on in. And I'm good. I actually did my yearly checkup. My blood work came back well. And she was like, girl, you're fine. So theoretically, you're not able to pass it after day like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I was well out of the danger zone. And at that point, I started feeling leaps and bounds better, like by the hour. I'd be like, wow, I feel better than I even did last hour. So I have not seen my mother down here in a while. I got the blessing and okay from my primary physician, who said, go see your mom, because I don't want to get my mom sick. Nobody wants to get anybody sick, but we are here. We are here.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the Outer Banks, unlike the beaches of Corsica, Palma, and Where was the third place that we went? We went in Cannes. Thank you.
Cannes, yes.
Those
yep.
three beaches. It isn't as crowded, although there are a good amount
It's
of people
filling
here
up.
today. But it's
Yeah.
not everybody
Summer
on
in
top
the
of
Outer
each
Banks.
other. And we have a beautiful day.
Absolutely.
And we got here, I guess, 2 nights ago. Yesterday was kind of a cloudy day, and I had to work anyway. But we did go to one of our recommended places is Art's Place in Kitty Hawk.
Yes.
Best burgers in
Yeah,
at least
so
the Outer
let's-
Banks, maybe whole of North Carolina.
Let's move on to the Outer Banks, and then I'm gonna, well, first, before we do the Outer Banks stuff, I want everybody to know, I'm gonna take my glasses up to say this. Please continue to travel. You're looking at someone who, due to travel, got COVID, and I would travel again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, it is if you're vaccinated and
Get your
you're fine.
vaccines.
It's no different than a cold.
Do what you have to do. Well, I mean, for certain people it could
Maybe
be,
very
let's be
few
clear.
people.
But for me personally, traveling, seeing the world is worth it. And like I said, I am about almost 3.5 to 4 weeks out from the initial positive test, and
well, in the end,
I
you
feel
can
pretty
get
good.
it from anywhere as well. Just
well,
you're traveling,
I think
doesn't
our
mean
son
that-
is the proof of
Yeah.
that, because I mean, it's not like he was up in our faces and stuff like that, and he still got it. So,
Yeah, you gotta live your life.
long story short, get out there, get cruising, get traveling, do what you're gonna do, follow what your doctor is saying, but also ask questions of your doctor, like I should have with the Paxlovid. Okay, let's move on to the Outer Banks. This is one of our favorite places, like on the planet. On the planet.
Yeah.
So he brought up, well, first of all, where we are sitting right now is in Kitty Hawk. We are at Balkan Street. I just had to look at the street sign behind us. This is one of our favorite places to come. And it's one of those things that if you really like the relaxed beach environment, this is the place for you.
Yeah, the nice thing about the Outer Banks is there's so much beach. You can pretty much, there's 20 miles one way, 20 miles the other way, and there's just beaches all along. So it's very easy to find.
If a beach is crowded, drive a couple more blocks and you're gonna find plenty of beach space. So if you've never been here, I highly recommend it. And if there's any questions that you have, maybe you can, I don't know if they have the ability to type it in
well, you
the
can comment.
comments.
Absolutely.
You can comment. We'll get back to you. We'll tell you some of our faves if you need recommendations, but we've hit a bunch of our favorite spots so far. First of all, our routine when we are here is to get bagels from Barrier Island Bagels, which they just moved locations down into where the old Argyle's restaurant is on Croatan Highway. And they were crowded this morning.
They were very crowded this morning.
But we just love to do bagels in the beach. Bagels in the beach. And we loved it. We got up this morning, went for a run actually first too.
There's a park. Her mom lives, for people who are familiar with Outer Banks, actually it would be considered probably not the Outer Banks. It was just before you get over the bridge.
Point
to
Harbor.
Canada. So it's Point Harbor, and there's a sound. I think it's called Sound Park or something.
Yeah, Soundside Park.
And they actually have a 7/10 mile loop that you can do there right by the water. It's very nice.
Oh,
very
it's
nice and
awesome.
flat. So we
Very
did that
flat.
this morning.
Yep, got to see people putting their boats in the water. It was awesome. Got a rousing game of slam ball going on over here.
People get competitive.
A little bit. So we did that and planned. My aunt actually lives right next door to mother, so we were planning our meal. And I may do a little quick video. He can kind of snip it in here, take pictures. My aunt and my mom and I are going to make some pasta today, like we made in Napoli. I know you Rome. Excuse me,
Yes,
not
it's part
Napoli.
of the Rome video. Go
Pizza
check it
was
out.
Yeah,
if
check
you want
out the Rome video.
It's cut into the Rome video.
It's
right
cut
during
in.
the excursion.
It's cut in. The master editor here. I love it.
Not very beginner editor here. Yeah.
Hey, look, he's learning. It's great. It's fine. So we're going to make some pasta for dinner tonight, but we did hit up a brand new spot called the Noosa Beach Grill. My mom and my aunt and I went to see a movie yesterday. We went to see Where the Crawdads Sing. We had all read the book, and it just didn't disappoint. It was a good movie. But then we went to the Noosa Beach Cafe, and it was so good. We've been to Charleston 3 times? 2 or 3 times? 2 times. And we've had a lot of shrimp and grits there and elsewhere. And I would have to say that the shrimp and grits I had there, speaking from a chef perspective, that was like the best shrimp and grits I've ever had. It wasn't a purist version of shrimp and grits. It actually had some like barbecue. I wish I had taken pictures of it, but we were in deep conversation while we were eating there. So it was really, really good. But we went for dinner, you and I did, to our favorite burger place.
Yeah, it's called Arts Place, which is just right, it's literally in back of us at Kitty Hawk here, right off Beach Highway, Highway 12. And they have some interesting burgers. I love the pimento cheese one. She had a prosciutto one. Again, we didn't get burgers,
So
or we didn't take pictures. We did find out their secret though. Their meat quality is good. So on our way home, we will be stopping at the meat packing plant.
where they get their meat.
Yes. We did this last year. It was really good.
I feel a plan coming together with some burger creation.
So we can create that. We can have some tacos with it. We can do lots of stuff.
I made stuffed cabbage with it last year, which was really good. Combine it with a little bit of pork. It's good, yeah.
So and then, excuse me, I'll let you talk here for a second. I got a little frog.
It's okay. So some of the other things that we like to do down here, as far as running goes, I highly recommend looking up the Outer Banks Running Company. They have 3 or 4 races every week during the summer. They have some bigger races, like on the 4th of July. I think they do a Christmas in July.
Yeah, they do a bunch of them. But during the summer, they rotate between
different locations.
Yeah. Corolla is one. I believe it's officially Nag's Head, although it might be more Kill Devil's Hills. Is 2, and then down in, what is it, Avon?
Avon.
There's one that we had to drive quite a while.
Yeah, down by Rodanthe, which if you've seen the movie Nights in Rodanthe with Richard Gere and Diane Lane, it was filmed there. The house is there.
But yeah, they do a good job running it.
They're
looking for a PR for those runners out there.
Fast
and flat.
Fast and
might
flat,
be a little
baby.
Hot. That's the only problem.
I've never run a faster 3.1 than I did down here.
Yeah.
And I've not been able to match
and
it.
You're at sea level as well, so that makes a little bit of a difference.
So I think on our training plan, we kind of decided we may come down to try and do a half marathon PR.
Maybe.
They run a half marathon down here, so we think that might be on our calendar for the spring, but we're not sure. But yeah, like some of the other things, the breweries are popping up all over the place down here. There's one that's right by where my mom's is off of.
Yeah, and then the Outer Banks Brewery, they always have some good artists and good food.
They do.
Don't know if we'll make it there on this trip. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Kill Devil Grill is a really good place. Try the Philly, if they still have them, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. Those are really, really good. I'm really hungry for some serious seafood, so I'm interested to see what we do tonight. We may go to the Blue Moon Cafe, which is another one we've done before.
Yeah, that one's really good too. Yeah, I think we were saying that. Well, we're going to make the food with.
Not tonight. I'm sorry, tomorrow night.
We might try to go to Hurricane Moe's or Blue Moon.
Hurricane Moe's.
What you feel like?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a really cool place down here. I've done surfing lessons down here before. I think it's called Surf Dog School or something like that. I don't know,
and of course, Kitty Hawk kites. That they're very famous down here, and you can do the. A lot of people come down here for this. We've never done it, and not been adventurous enough to do it. Is the hang gliding
off of the dunes.
Yeah. One thing we have done though, since I don't think we've ever shown her Jeep, but she has a Jeep Wrangler, and what you can do in Corolla.
I call her Sky Blue. Yeah. She's everything.
Which is probably about 40 minutes from here. Is you can drive on the beach. You got to deflate your tires a little bit, and then you drive. And then there's a whole bunch of wild horses up at the Virginia-Carolina line. Yep. You can drive back in some neighborhoods that are only accessible by the beach. We did that last year. It was very cool.
It was very Jurassic Park. It was right after it rained, so we were going through big puddles, and it was jungle-like, and
even if
horses.
You don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle like we do, they do tours. So if you're interested in doing it.
Yeah,
that's something that's very easy to do. And of course, you can every water sports down here.
Oh yeah, I mean we got people fishing right here on the beach.
Kiteboard, whatever you want to do down here, you can find and schedule. And of course, the normal beach stuff like mini golf, and go karts and things of that nature.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're looking for a really cool beach getaway, I mean, we don't have a boardwalk here. There's not a boardwalk. I mean, there's a couple piers that are around, but there's no real like amusement type rides and stuff. There's mini golf,
family friendly. It's not a compared to, like, I don't know, for you East Coasters out there, like a Dewey Beach, it's not a party beach, or Ocean City, Maryland. It's more family oriented.
Not to say that people don't have some really nice parties at the houses that they rent, but
and the beaches here, we did bring Daisy. We got to bring her here. We're going to probably do that tonight as well.
I know. I'm looking at dogs on the beach right here.
They're very dog friendly here, so you can bring a dog anytime. A lot of beaches won't let you do that. I think you actually leave them off leash, which we will not do during non-peak hours.
She's a flight risk, I think, probably.
But it'll be interesting to see. She's a puppy, so it'll be our first time at the beach.
Well, maybe we'll take a video of Daisy's first. Yeah. I think we're planning on going back. My aunt and my mom both have small swimming pools in the back of their houses here. And I think we're going to see if she likes to swim. So
we'll have to see.
Lots going on. Oh, and to wrap it up, I don't know how many days it is here, but our next official cruise is on spring break of next year.
Yeah, her spring break for high school, which is in April. We will be doing, and we'll do our running races as well.
Yes.
And we'll maybe check in just to.
We're doing the Army 10 miler here in DC. Well, not here, but when we're home in DC in the fall.
In October. And then even before spring break, we're going to do, as we mentioned when we were in Rome, we did get the 2-course challenge for Princess.
At Disney.
And that'll be in February. And then in spring break is our next cruise. I know it's a little bit away. But,
and I think we should just have our own little, it's on the Epic again.
Yeah, we had mentioned that before. And then we're going to a new place. We're flying to San Juan and then going south, which we've never ever done.
We've never been to Puerto Rico, never done.
It's St. Kitts, Curacao, never been to any of those places, so it'll be very fun.
Yes, but thankfully we'll be familiar with the boat. So if you want to comment below here if you're going to be going on the Epic or you're thinking about going on the Epic, because I'll tell you what, I still love that boat.
Oh yeah, it's a good boat.
I really do. It's a good boat. If you have any questions or something you want us to video for you so you can see it, just let us know. I mean, obviously we won't be there until next spring, but you can put it there.
And we can give recommendations on, even if you're not going on the Epic or if you're going on another NCL boat. We've been on enough of those. We know the restaurants very well. We know what to try, what to stay away from. So anything you might want to ask, we're more than willing to answer.
Yeah. So all in all, would you go to do a Mediterranean cruise again?
I would say yes. I think I enjoyed the Greece cruise better. They were both wonderful, but I definitely prefer the Greece cruise. I am interested in one on the list is NCL, and maybe some other ones you hit some spots in Croatia and then hit Israel. That's one that's definitely interested to do. And the one we do have another one booked later next year to do Scotland, Ireland, and parts of England. I'm really looking forward to that.
That's on Carnival.
Yeah.
So we're excited about all this, but.
And I think we were watching a cruise review from Tony on La Lido Loca.
Yes,
and
hi Tony, hi Jenny. Hopefully you see this. We love you.
Yeah, and I think he sold us on trying a Virgin cruise here pretty soon.
Dude, check out La Lido Loca.
Yeah.
They are so good at this, I'm telling you. And he sold us both on the Virgin, what was it, the Scarlet Lady he went on?
And of course our kids are older, so we're probably being a little selfish here, but I think it is a nicer experience for adults.
You have to be 18 and over to go on a Virgin
to not have
cruise.
the kids there, and it looks like it's all included. It's really well done, so interested in probably trying that. Maybe not in 23, but maybe definitely on a list on 24.
Yeah, our older son is very into golf, and he's living back at home now as he gets started with his life. He has a degree from West Virginia University, go Mountaineers, and he is going to be starting his work life, so I don't know, with him liking golf, we may wind up with him coming along on the
we'll see.
summer cruise next year just so he can golf in Scotland. I think that's one of his bucket list items. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd
the younger
have to
one
stay
just
in a
wants
room
to
with us, so I
be
don't know if he'd want to do that.
No, he'd have
old
to bunk
do
up with us. I don't know.
So we'll see.
Speaking of heat, I'm sweating. I want to get in this ocean.
It is hot. I think it's time to hop in the water.
All right.
Get some suntan lotion.
Well, we'll see you next time, and we'll probably just keep checking in with you when we go do stuff. And
I
don't know. We may even do a concert venue. We have a couple concerts that are coming up this summer. That might be fun.
Yeah, we'll sprinkle in some stuff, and if we have some changing plans, we'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.